Hello, this is a demonstration of the Black Shark Den intro flight. The intro flight is needed to join our squadron as it is used to assess your basic understanding and control of your helicopter. Our main assessment points are cold starting the aircraft, taxi, hovering, and flying the aircraft. For this demonstration, we will be in the AH-64D Apache. The first assessment point we will be looking at is the cold start of the aircraft. Cold starting the aircraft indicates to us that you have a basic understanding of the aircraft systems and that you are aware of the location of any essential cockpit elements. If you are in an aircraft that has multi-crew, such as the Apache, do not touch any of the controls or switches until your instructor has entered the aircraft and given you the go-ahead to do so. We aren't looking for an in-depth amount of knowledge of the aircraft systems in this part. All we are really concerned of is, are you able to start the aircraft from a cold and dark situation? This should go without saying, but please do not try to use the automatic startup during your intro flight. Once the aircraft is started, we're going to begin our taxi. If the aircraft has wheels, you'll need to perform both a ground taxi and a hover taxi. If your aircraft has skids, you will only need to perform a hover taxi. For the ground taxi, we are looking for controlled turns and controlled speed while you're on the ground. Once it is time for the hover taxi, we will pull the aircraft into an in-ground effect hover and hold it steady. At this point, we are looking for your ability to have stable control of the aircraft in an in-ground effect hover. You will be given a route to taxi along, likely a taxiway, probably towards the runway or to an open area of the ramp. When you are hover taxiing, we are also looking for stability and control of the aircraft. On top of the hover taxi, we also want you to demonstrate your ability to spot turn the aircraft while in a hover. This will first be conducted in ground effect. We want you to demonstrate your ability to turn the aircraft left and right without deviating too much from your original position. After the in-ground effect hover turns, we're going to have you ascend to an out-of-ground effect altitude. We will then have you conduct left and right turns, just like you did in the in-ground effect hover turn demonstration. After you've completed the hover portion of the demonstration, we will move on to the flight portion. We will begin the flight portion of the demonstration with a standard runway departure. What we are looking for is a speed over altitude departure, meaning you will gain airspeed in ground effect before you start climbing and gaining altitude. As well, we want to assess your ability to maintain centerline with the runway and have a controlled and stable climb with the aircraft. Once we have reached cruising altitude, we will then have you demonstrate flight maneuvers. We want to assess your ability to handle the aircraft in cruise. We will be looking for stability in banking turns and making sure you're not overbanking the aircraft or changing your altitude too much. We will also be looking for your ability to maintain straight and level flight while cruising. This means maintaining a specific airspeed at a specific altitude without rocking the aircraft too much. Once we have finished flying around a little bit, you will then demonstrate an approach and landing at the airfield. On approach, we are looking for adequate runway alignment with your aircraft. This means you're not too far left or too far right, preferably centerline with the runway while you're still a few miles away. We are also looking for a controlled descent with a stable flight path down to the end of the runway. You will then enter a hover above the ground and then conduct a spot landing on a spot given by your instructor. In this demonstration, we are landing on the numbers. At this point, you may taxi back to parking, debrief with your instructor, and they will let you know how the assessment went. If you and your instructor both have the time to do so, you may also continue flying. This extra bit of flying will not change your accepted state with BSD. We may, however, be still assessing you with your understanding of aircraft systems and other skills that you may need to work on in order to fly with the squadron. If you are not successful in demonstrating the minimum level of control of your aircraft required to join the squadron, you may retry again when you feel you are ready. Just come back, say, "Hey, I'm looking to reschedule my intro flight." If you pass, however, you will be accepted into the squadron and be able to start training on our squadron standard operating procedures. I hope this introduction flight demonstration is enough to help you understand what is expected of you at the introduction flight with Black Shark Den. Happy flying, and hope to see you soon.